Welcome back to recruitment training. In this section, I'll be explaining about front-end applications. The part of a computer system or application with which the user interacts directly is called as front-end. So in front-end applications, you have .NET developer positions, Java developer, JDE developer, mobile, you see iOS developer, Android developer, testing, quality analyst, software tester, maintenance support, software maintenance engineer, software support specialist, and in designing, web designer and as well as user interface designer. So let me try to explain one by one. Now in my experience, what are front-end applications and what are the examples for that one? You'd have seen in pharmaceutical shops or in provision shops or in hotel, they do have a small computer and some software is installed on those machines with the help of which they are able to use that software for either pharmaceutical purpose or provision purpose or as well as hotel purpose. So these are called as desktop applications. The software has been installed on those computers and that is why it is called as desktop applications. Nowadays, you see many pharmaceuticals are connected to a database. Now, if you go to a pharmaceutical shop like Apollo or MedPlus or other famous pharmaceutical shops, you ask for medicine, what they do, they try to search it and they say that as of now, this medicine is not available. It may take 2 or 3 days to come. They are connecting to the parent database and they're getting the information from there. How they're able to do it? Because of this client server architecture. Many clients, many machines are connected to that server. They search for some medicines. That is a request from the application, that is from the client, and that request reaches the server. Server processes it and sends back the response to the client. This is called as client server architecture. N number of client machines will be connected to a server. Then you do have something called as browser-based applications. If you take example of Amazon.com, that is a browser-based application. Many banks, they do have browser-based applications. What are browsers? Google Chrome is a browser. Internet Explorer is a browser. In the earlier days, when you want to transfer money from one account to another account, what we do, we go to the bank, write some forms, and after that they transfer the money from one place to another place. That is from one account to another account. Nowadays, with these browser-based applications, the same work can be done easily. As a user, what they do, they log into that banking application, fill in the login credentials, they go there, select the right option for transferring the amount, and it will request for some details. After all details are filled, then the amount is debited from that account and it is moved to the other account. So with browser-based applications, we are able to do that one. Now what happens in Amazon.com? We connect to Amazon.com by giving your login credentials. We order a product and that product is delivered. How this happens? All through browser-based applications when you are using like Google Chrome or your Internet Explorer. How mobile applications are different? Rather than using web browsers, you are going to use the apps created. So you go to those apps and connect to the appropriate companies, do all kinds of transactions that you're interested. That is what is called as mobile application. So altogether, as of now, from my experience, I know 4 types of applications. One is a desktop application. The second one is a client server architecture based applications. And the third one is browser based applications. And the fourth one is mobile based applications. Now, whether you work in a small staffing firm or whether you work in big companies, this .NET developer or Java developer or J2 developer is quite common. So from the recruitment perspective, find out the skills that are present in .NET, Java, and as well as J2EE. For example, if you talk about this Java J2EE, very often you get this OOPS, Hibernate, Strut, Spring. So try to frame a table, put the Java main skill there, and after that put the sub skills in another section so that it will be easy for you to understand what does Java contain or J2EE contain. This is not a tough requirement. Definitely, if you're hardworking and dedicated, you'll be able to find out Java developers and as well as .NET developers. In the mobile application, it may be a little bit difficult. So try to find out iOS developers, Android developers, and have good relationship with them. Testing applications, there are different types of testings. They call it as manual testing, automated testing. So in the early days, like they used to do manual testing. Nowadays also they do manual testing, but it is not a hard requirement. If you get a manual tester, you may find n number of people all over the world. So it is a easy cakewalk for you. But whereas automated testing through some applications like Selenium, that will be difficult for you to source. And moreover, like testing this iOS applications, testing this Android applications will be difficult also. Maintenance and support, these are different areas. Software maintenance engineer, software support specialist, and these are all coming under these support areas. This depends upon the technology that you are working on. Based upon the technology, it may be tough or easy. Now, designing. Say you see like web designer, user interface designer, so many designs are there. What is web designer? For example, if a website is created, they may be using several languages for that one. And when you're good, then you design the URL required for you. For example, my website learnhiring.com, that was designed by my wife. She knows programming, like she knows how to register a domain, how to host information in servers, and how to put the home page, and how to use the default templates provided by that hosting company also. So in this way, like she was able to create my website. And at the same time, what you have to think, what are the different languages that are related. Now, like my wife has done these things with HTML. I've seen working here with PHP at times, like WordPress, that is a content management system. She also worked with Drupal also, that is also another content management systems. Then comes the user interface. I was working in a corporate company. In that situation, like I had got a lot of knowledge regarding the user interfaces. For example, this mobile application is a user interface created by developers, and I will tell you the mobile development lifecycle also here. Sales team with their brochures, they talk to different clients, explain about the company and the products that were developed by using this iOS or Android environment. At one point of time, the clients will be interested and they'll be calling that sales representative and ask them to provide some samples. So what these sales guys did was they talked to the clients, they got enough information what has to be developed. Then they went to a team called tree design team. The tree design team had big Apple computers, and those are very, very big screens, and they used to have this Adobe Illustrator, Dreamweaver, several image softwares, and whatever clients have requested regarding mobile applications, they will do a rough drawing on the computer, and the same will be given to this sales managers. It is not the actual drawing that was asked by the client, but it will be an approximate drawing. So these drawings were given to the client, and by looking at it, they will have a number of questions. So to resolve those questions, business analysts and the actual development team also came into picture. When the client was convinced, then they started this RFI process, request for inquiry. My company gave all these solutions through a document called RFP, request for proposal. The client was happy and the client gave some orders for mobile applications also. In that situation, what happened? The actual business analyst team came into picture. One business analyst went to United States and 4 or 5 business analysts were working in Chennai, India. And what they did was they analyzed the business requirements of the client and they documented all business requirements. These business requirement documents were given to the actual design team and they created the project as is. I'm talking only about the designing part. Then the development phase was also there. And developers pitched in and they were able to create these mobile applications and the navigation between different screen in mobile applications. And finally, that mobile application was deployed and a working software was created and the client was happy. So what I'm trying to say here is this is what is called as user interface designing. I gave one example of user interface. There are many examples. Car is also a user interface. As a driver, you go there, you see how steering is, how brakes are, how clutches are, how doors are, right? This is what is called as user interface designing. There are n number of applications in the front end area and no one will be able to understand it completely. But as I said earlier, understanding the description from the recruitment perspective and try to source strong resumes in this front end. And that is all for the slide. Thanks.